My name is Claire Mitchell. I'm 32 years old. Until 3 months ago, I thought I had the perfect life. A husband who's a respected doctor, a sister who called herself my soulmate, and a family that admired our unbreakable bond. Then I found the text on my husband's phone. Your sister knows how to pretend better than you. When I'm with you, I think of her. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just put the phone down and went back to setting the table for Sunday dinner. Because I realized something they never saw. I wasn't the victim. I was the witness. And at the next family dinner, when my father raised his glass to harmony in this house, I stood, smiled calmly, and said, I'd like to propose a more honest toast to the new couple, David and Valerie. May your love last until the judge separates you. The silence that followed was louder than any scream. Because that night, I didn't break the family. I exposed the ones destroying it. In our town, people said Valerie and I were inseparable. She was the beautiful, spontaneous one. I was the serious, responsible one. But beneath that sisterly facade was a silent competition my family fed with every compliment. Valerie brings the fire. Claire, you're the steady hand, my dad would say. I learned to stay quiet. Silence was my armor. When I met David at a medical conference, I thought he was my escape. We married in secret, away from the eyes that always compared us. But within a year, Valerie announced, David and I are working together at the hospital now. I didn't question it. I thought it was coincidence. If you're listening to this and feel like your family has pitted you against your sister, your cousin, your best friend, you're not alone. So many of you have shared your stories in the comments from Chicago, Austin, Atlanta, Louisiana, and every message reminds me that love isn't a prize for the prettiest. It's a right for the respected. So if this story moves you, I ask 3 things. Like this video, subscribe, tell me in the comments what city and state you're watching from. Because here, every voice is a raised glass, and every toast is a verdict. Now take a breath. What comes next isn't a scandal. It's an elegant execution. Valerie and I grew up in a house where love was served in uneven portions. She got praise for her beauty. I got advice for my coldness. My dad used to say, Valerie lights up the room. Claire, you hold it together. I never knew if that was a compliment or a life sentence. When I met David at a medical conference, Valerie was the first to approve. He's handsome, stable, and treats you like a queen, she said, hugging me tightly. But in her eyes, I saw a flicker I wouldn't understand until much later, greed. We married in secret, in a chapel outside Sedona. I don't want my family interfering, I told him. He nodded. But within a month, Valerie announced, David and I are collaborating on a new project at the hospital. I didn't question it. I thought it was fate. Then I started noticing things. David knew details of my conversations with Valerie before I'd told him. You tell me everything, she'd say. But one night, I found her phone unlocked. A text thread with David read, told her pot roast was too salty. She got upset. You always cook better. I confronted David. Why do you tell Valerie our private fights? I asked. He hugged me. She's your sister. I just want her to understand me in case something happens. I believed him. Because I wanted to believe love was safe, eternal, honest. But the truth was in the details that never fit. Valerie always happened to show up after David and I argued. She always had the perfect advice. She'd whisper, let him go, Claire. You don't deserve this. Until one day I realized she wasn't protecting me. She was grooming me to be replaced. The first real proof came with the keys. David claimed he'd lost ours. But a week later, I saw Valerie unlock my front door with my original keys. You lent them to me, she said. But I never had. I started recording. Not out of rage, out of precision. I captured how Valerie entered my home when I wasn't there. How she wore my clothes, used my perfume, even my toothbrush. So he gets used to me, she told David on a call. When Claire is gone, he won't even notice the difference. I discovered they planned more than a breakup. They planned to erase me. David had already changed the beneficiaries on his life insurance. Valerie was listed as close family on forged documents. They'd even leased an apartment in Asheville under my name, but filled it with their things. My father knew. I saw him hand Valerie an envelope in the garage. For the paperwork, he said. I didn't ask, because in my family, women stay quiet until they can't. But I wasn't that woman anymore. I began moving my pieces in silence, because this was no longer about saving my marriage. It was about taking everything back. The envelope my father gave Valerie wasn't for paperwork. It was a contract. I found it when I hacked her email. Yes, I used my birthday. She never changed it. The document stated Valerie would support David in stabilizing his marriage in exchange for monthly payments from my father. But the worst part was the final clause. In the event of Claire Mitchell's death, all assets shall transfer to Valerie Mitchell as sole heir. My father didn't just want to replace me. He wanted to delete me from the will. I confronted my mother. Did you know? I asked. She looked down. Your father says Valerie is more stable. That David deserves someone who makes him happy. I didn't cry. I just nodded. Because I finally understood. In my family, love wasn't earned through respect. It was won through performance. I hired a private investigator. Follow Valerie and David, I said. I want proof, not rumors. The evidence came quickly. Photos of them at a mountain lodge in Asheville. Recordings. Once Claire signs the final papers, we'll say it was a mistake, and you'll be the hero who comforted her. Even a video of Valerie trying on my wedding dress in front of a mirror. But the crown jewel was a forged will, signed with a near-perfect imitation of my handwriting, leaving everything to Valerie. My father wasn't just replacing me. He was testing my weakness. And if I failed, Valerie would inherit it all. That night, I planned the family dinner. I made sure every witness was present. Uncles, lawyers, family bankers. Because revenge isn't about killing the monster. It's about exposing him in front of those who protect him. On the night of the dinner, Valerie arrived on David's arm. She wore a red dress, the same one I'd worn on our first date. Do you like it? She asked, smiling. David says it's your favorite. I didn't answer. I just smiled, because I was no longer the weaker sister. I was the architect of the game. And that night, everyone would see who truly deserved the throne. The dining room was full. Candles, soft lighting, pot roast simmering in the kitchen. Valerie and David sat like honored guests. I stayed in my usual seat, watching. Throughout dinner, Valerie wouldn't stop talking. David and I are so happy, she'd say, glancing at me. Right, David? He'd nod, with that fake smile. I felt every eye in the room, curious, uneasy, waiting. When my father raised his glass, he said, "To harmony in this home." That was my cue. I stood calmly, walked to the center of the table, picked up my wine glass. The room went still. Before we toast to harmony, I said, voice clear and steady, I'd like to offer a more honest one. I paused. Valerie went pale. To the new couple, David and Valerie, may your love last until the judge separates you. The silence was absolute. David forced a laugh. It's a joke, right, Claire? But I was already pressing play on my phone. The recordings filled the room. Once Claire signs the papers, we'll say it was a mistake, and you'll be the hero. Your life insurance is worth $2 million. I projected the evidence onto the wall. The contract with my father, the forged will, the photos from Asheville. My father shot up, furious. This is insane, he shouted. But the family lawyer stopped him. Richard, we know about that contract. And the payments. Valerie burst into tears. It was Dad's idea. I was just following orders, she cried. But no one believed her. Because in my family, the weak don't survive. Only the smart do. And I was no longer the weak sister. I was the only one who mattered. The dinner video went viral within an hour. A cousin posted it online. Sister exposes husband and sister at family dinner. It hit 500,000 views in 24 hours. David lost everything. His medical license was revoked for fraud and conspiracy. His family disowned him. We don't tolerate betrayal, his father said in a statement. Valerie fared no better. Her engagement to a corporate lawyer ended the next day. I won't be with someone who betrays her own blood, he told her. She lost her marketing job. We don't need scandal, her boss said. But the worst wasn't the downfall. It was that no one believed them. When they claimed I trapped or manipulated them, people laughed. Seriously, they'd say. The victim is the villain. My father never apologized. But one day, He left an envelope at my door. Inside, the deed to the Lake Tahoe house in my name only. And a note. You're more like me than I realized. Keep going. My mother hugged me that night. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I always knew Valerie was like this, but I thought you were strong enough to handle it. I told her it wasn't about strength. It was about right. No one gets to use you as a stepping stone, not even your sister. Valerie tried to contact me. Texts, letters, even showed up at my door. I'm sorry, she'd say. It was a mistake. But I wasn't the Claire who forgave out of fear of being alone. A month later, I heard she'd moved to a small town in Oregon. She works at a corner store. No one knows who she is. And for someone like her, that's worse than prison. Now, when a woman tells me, that's just how my family is, I say, no, that's how you let them be. Because silence isn't peace. It's complicity. David lives in a small apartment in Denver. He teaches anatomy at a community college. Sometimes I see him at the grocery store. He looks down. I keep walking. A year later, I moved to a quiet neighborhood in Portland. Not Lake Tahoe. Just a simple house with trees and neighbors who don't know my past. Here, no one calls me the betrayed sister. They call me Claire. And that's enough. I return to work, not at my father's firm, but at a foundation helping women like me. How did you learn to trust yourself? They ask. I tell them the truth. When I realized love isn't a gift, it's respect. And if you're not respected, it's not love. I won't marry again. Not because I don't believe in love, but because I no longer need a ring to feel whole. My worth doesn't depend on a man, a sister, or an inheritance. Sometimes, in my dreams, I'm back at that dinner. But this time, I don't take the mic. I just look at Valerie and David and smile. Because they no longer have power over me. They never did. I just gave it to them. My mother and I meet for Sunday brunch. We don't talk about Valerie. We talk about books, films, how the jasmine in her garden bloomed this spring. It's a beginning. Now, when a woman tells me, in my family, the pretty sister always wins, I say, no. In your family, the quiet one never fought back. I don't hate Valerie. Hate is a chain, and I'm free. But I won't forgive her either. Because forgiveness isn't owed. It's a choice, and I choose not to forget. Sometimes, I get messages from women who saw the video. Your story saved me, they say. I was about to sign my divorce papers, but now I know I don't have to surrender my life without a fight. So every word I speak here is a brick. And together, we're building houses where no one has to be the lesser. If you're reading this and feel your family taught you to be the lesser one, remember, you're not a possession. You're a presence. And as long as you're alive, no one can erase you. This story doesn't end with a betrayal exposed. It ends with a woman who rebuilt herself, not with permission, but with purpose. Every one of us was taught that love is earned through silence, sacrifice, and swallowing the bitter truth that this is just how family is. But real love doesn't hurt. What hurts is the lie wrapped in its name. If you're listening and recognize the signs, the sister who takes everything, the husband who isolates you, the family that celebrates your silence, you are not alone. Your voice matters. Your life is invaluable. Thank you for listening to the end. If this story moved you, please like this video, subscribe, tell me in the comments what city and state you're watching from. Because here, every word is a brick, and together, we're building homes where no one has to be the lesser. Until the next truth.